Hello, my dear students. How are you all? Welcome to Diksha Karnataka YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing good. Yes, so today I'm here with a very important session where we're going to talk about how to increase our speed in this lengthy examination that we have at hand, which is Comet K, especially for mathematics part. Okay, so we'll see the tricks. We'll see what is important to get this thing done very quickly. What is that? Solving the problems that is coming for our way in the Comet examination. Okay, so we have to remember two things over here. First, of course, we need some tricks as well, and also we need a proper revision and understanding of our syllabus. Yes, for anyone to get good marks in Comet K mathematics, you have to cover up the entire syllabus, and then only you can rely on the tricks. You cannot just rely on the tricks and get a very decent mark, means 45, 55 plus in Comet K. That doesn't work this way. You have to understand the concepts. You have to be sure that you have done those aspects of practice. Then only you can be very assured of getting a very decent marks in maths. Okay, so let's start what we have. So as I said, this session will be divided in two parts. First part will be understanding the syllabus concern. Okay, where means in this limited time that we have, how can we prioritize? Okay, what to prioritize? Okay, and of course, what else can be done to improve our mock examinations result, our exams results? Okay, and second part will be the tricks. Okay, so might be a little longer session, not that 10-minute session, but yes, we'll talk about both the parts, strategy part as well as trick part. In the strategy part, I'll talk about your chapters to pick, how to get to them, and how to solve questions on them, and what mistakes to avoid. And in the trick part, I'll let you know that as well. Of course, some list of tricks which will be very, very useful for the Comet K maths examination. Okay, so what is there for the first thing? Understand the final run that we have. Very few time is left. Very few days is left. Understand your preparation. Okay, let's say I am somebody who's getting in my mocks 20 marks, 25 marks. Okay, then I should not aim for 55 plus. It just end up doing really bad in my examination and boosting my not boosting my confidence. All right, so understand your preparation, where you stand. If you are somebody who's getting 25 marks in maths, okay, or whether you're getting 55 marks in maths, okay, so whatever is your preparation, understand that, okay, and build on that, okay. So don't be surprised in the examination too much. It creates added pressure in the examination. Don't do that. Okay, so based on that, have a clear goal, what marks you're looking for. So I want 40 marks, means you should have a clear goal. You should aim for 45, 50 marks questions, and of course you go from there, you'll get 40 marks easily. Understand one more thing, this is a non-negative marking question paper. Examination pattern is non-negative, there's no negative marking in that. Of course, try to attempt all the problems. Don't leave anything. What you can use the elimination trick. Like eliminate the most, the weird options given to you, means which is the not any situation the answer can be those options, and then pick the one that suits in that condition the best. Okay, so you can use the elimination technique to, of course, make some guesses in the question that you don't have time to attempt. Okay, chaliye. Next is revision is the key. Avoid learning newer concepts the time that you have right now. Don't go ahead and challenge yourself to learn the things that you have not learned. For example, let's say I'm somebody who is weaker in statistics. I can be that student, okay? I don't like doing that long calculations. Or I can be somebody who's weaker in, let's say, sequence and series, okay? Or I can be somebody who's weaker in integration. So I should not challenge myself to do those chapters right now, because we have only a couple of days left. We cannot challenge ourselves and get our confidence down. So please avoid learning newer concepts and solving challenging problems. Don't do that right away. This time is to boost your confidence, back your learnings, and of course go with a positive mindset in the examination. Learning formulas is a must. Math is mostly, the thing is, the questions will not be very difficult. They might be lengthy, but they will not be very difficult. And only way to solve those questions will be if you have formulas by heart. You cannot forget that. You cannot think of, okay, I'll memorize the formula, I'll think of it. You can't have that. It's a very short exam, okay? You have 60 minutes to solve 60 questions, right? So how can you do that? Of course, the formula should be like this. Question comes, formula should be with you right away, okay? The formula should be on your, like tip. Got it? This has to be the prioritized and revised regularly, 10 times, 5 times, whatever times you can do it is going to be very, very useful to you. Okay, high weightage topics should be given preferences. I'll talk about that in detail, don't worry. So yes, high weightage topics should be given preferences. For example, from PU2, if you check from the PU2, I have not given you all chapters. Okay, this is my analysis. There's no paper which has given this trend of 2024, 23 like this. So what I have done is I've taken a very standard question bank of PYQs, and of course I've checked the number of questions coming in every year. All right, sometimes you might see gap or numbers is less. That's because the questions over here may be repeated on these years. That's why they have not repeated the question. I'll repeat myself. Let's say the question that came in 2021 also came in 2024. So that's why they must have not written this question over here. But if I've seen the entire paper, no, so this was a trend in the entire question bank that I had, and this is up to the latest edition, which talks about with respect to the deleted portion and everything. Okay, so this numbers that you can see over here, considering the deleted portion and everything. Okay, so if you check here, so I've checked the chapters from PU2, integral calculus. When I say integral calculus, what I mean integration, AOI together. I mean integration AOI together here. Okay, so in that we have total 8 marks coming in our last year paper 2024. 5 marks means 5 questions from 2023. They're saying no question in 2022. It means that the question that came in 2022 already has been repeated in either of these years. I'm repeating myself. The questions that came in 2022, they must be asked in 24, 23 like that. That's why they have not mentioned it like 2022. Okay, so the question was there. Okay, great. And for 2023 we have 2021 we had 3, 2020 we had 7 questions. Okay, so if you are asking me this year's expectation, if you are asking me, let's say, expectation this year, I would say minimum of 6 to 7 questions can be asked from this unit. 6 to 7 problems can be asked in the unit of integral calculus. It's not chapter, it's integral calculus. It has both AOI as well. Integration of both definite and indefinite integrals as well as AOI comes in the part of integral calculus. Next, when I talk about differential, I mean AOD and yes, I mean limits questions as well sometimes, and as well as your differentiation questions. So total you can see here 5 questions was asked in 2024, 8 was in 2023. Again 2022 2 questions says 2, 1, 4. It doesn't mean that way. It means these questions must have been asked in other year. That's why it is like that. Okay. So a similar question must have been asked from, let's say, 2022, might have been asked in 2023 or 2024 or 2021. Also works the same way. Okay. So this year, if you check again from this chapter, this is going to be almost, I can say, 5 to 6 problems coming your way in the differential calculus, which means application of derivative and differentiation together, continuity, differentiation, all of that together. Almost 6 questions can be expected this year, 2025. Okay, great. Vector 3D, if you check here 8, 7, 3, 6, 3 from the last 5 years, if you have, again you can expect here this year as well 7 to 8 questions, Vector 3D. 7 to 8 questions can come in Vector 3D. Very simple chapter, Vector 3D. If you know the formulas, you can actually get all of them right. All of them right, okay? And they'll not be tricky ones. So this is your friend in the examination. 7 to 8 marks can be easily achieved in this unit, okay? Matrix and determinant, again 7, 5, 4, 2, 2. On an average, 5 to 6 questions can be expected this year as well in matrices and determinant, okay? There will be some questions which might be lengthy in nature, but most of them, if they're property based, you can do it very quickly. But yeah, if you are asked to solve, let's say, for area, part, or maybe they've given a different or weird integrations. So they have given, sorry, not integration, they've given determinant to find using the properties of algebra. Remember, we use that formula AQ plus BQ plus CQ minus 3ABC wala form. Okay, A plus B plus C is coming as 0, like that form. Yes, those questions can be asked. Okay, so if you see here the P by Qs, those questions has been repeated a couple of times. So please make sure that you have practiced those. I have done that in the P by Q sessions, but still you practice those. Okay, probability, again you can see a very high weighted chapter, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Minimum of 4 you can expect this year as well, including both PU1 and PU2. PU1 questions also can be solved, no, using PU2 understandings. So PU1 questions or PU2 together can be asked for 4 marks. So please check here. If I take the left hand side only, 6, 5, 11 plus 7 is 18 plus over here 5 will become what? 23 plus 4 is 27 marks itself in this. These units can be expected this year. 27 to 30 marks. Here what we have, 27 to 30 marks here in the PU2 high weightage chapters. High weightage chapters and units. Very, very, very important. If I see the PU1 section, again we have sets, relation and functions. Simple chapter. 5 marks, 8 marks, 4 marks, 3 marks each. You can expect this year again 5 marks questions from here. 2025 expected questions will be again here, sir, 5 marks over here. Sequence and series 2, 3, 3, 4, 2. Again, minimum of 2 to 3 questions can come from here as well. Sequence and series, you can have conic section also. 3 to 4 questions can come your way, but here please check. Conic section 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. So 4 questions can come over here in conic section. They will not be difficult questions. I hope you understand that. Question on eccentricity, questions on equations that is given to you. For circles we have, for parabola, for hyperbola. I have given the list of formulas. Please remember those formulas. Highly important, okay? Conic section has a lot of formulas you have to remember. If you remember, you can solve all the 4 questions coming your way in conic section. This is again a PU1 syllabus. Trigonometric and ITF, again 3 questions can be asked over here as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 2, 5. You can see the trend. Straight lines 2 on an average. We'll keep here 2 as well. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus again, we have here, let's say 4, 12 plus 5 is 19 marks. Okay, which makes our tally to be how much, dear? Which makes it to be, we have 30 marks over here, 30 and 90, 49 marks from these two slides. You can see these chapters, these units from PU to PU1. 49 marks if you do properly. If you get 45 plus in the examination, is good enough. 45 in maths, 50 plus in this, makes a very good mark, 145 plus for your top 1000 rank in Comet K. Works. Okay, please check. So this is the analysis of PU1 and PU2. Okay, I hope this was very, very helpful. Chaliye. Now, mock test and analysis. How will the mock test work, sir? Have a look. So over here, if you check, this is the process. I hope you have done that already. Okay. So write one FLT. If you're writing any one FLT, we have given you, if you're part of your Comet K class course, you've done that. If not, you have taken some mock test. Please write that. Mock test is very, very important. Even for the last day that you have, try to write 2-3 mock tests. It's very important here. Okay. Not just writing, maintain exam condition. What it means is like keep the time schedule fixed. Okay, don't have luxury of sitting on a very comfortable chair like that. No. So whatever is you're gonna have, you have to face in the center for the. Of course, the platform exam is online only, but you have to go to the center, I think. Yeah. So maintain the exam condition. Keep the timer with you. Okay. In that time only attempt the problems. Okay. Don't take any help. No textbook. Nothing should be allowed. Only you, your screen, and of course, if you are working, doing calculations like that. Okay. So maintain exam conditions, analyze the test, and note the wrong questions in the error book. Okay. Let's say after you've done with the test, evaluate the paper and maintain that. I've already talked with you guys. Maintain an error book. Okay. So keep making error book, which helps you. I'll tell you what it works with in the next slide, but right now maintain the mistakes questions in the error book. You can take a picture and keep it over there. Revise them again. Revise the weak areas. Of course, after the paper, you'll analyze. Let's say I'm struggling in integration, so I'll go back and again, let's say I forgot some formulas, I'll revise the formulas. I forgot some concept, I'll go back and quickly recall that concept. Okay, so quick revision should be done. Maintain an error notebook. Keep a track of your marks in test series. Attempt at least 3 to 4 full-length tests that you have. Okay. I hope you've taken the crash course of Comet K, so you can attempt from there. Now, understanding your mistakes. Let's say I am talking about myself. Okay, so if I have written one of the mocks, okay, so let's say I've written one of the mocks. I've written FLT1, let's say. Okay, full length test 1 I've written. This is a mock test actually. This was for crash course. This is a mock test. I'm trying to understand my mistakes that I've made. Now the mistakes you see here, any mistakes made by us will be of different categories. Category number 1 is called as conceptual mistakes. Conceptual mistakes. Works. Second one is, let's say, based on formula, means forgotten formulas. Forgotten formulas. Means you know the formulas, but that time you're not able to recall it. So forgotten formulas. And the last one, which is the most deadly one, is silly ones. Silly mistakes. I know all of you go through this last step, so multiple occasions this happens to all of us, right? Silly mistakes. So not only the mistakes I'm listing, I'm going to help you how to understand and work on this. Even this short time that you have, you can do that. Conceptual mistakes, how can you avoid it? Means, let's say conceptual mistakes, can be of couple of types. Let's say a chapter that I don't want to study. A chapter, for example, let's say a lot of students don't want to study integration. Okay, so integrals, you have kept it out of the syllabus. You don't want to study only integrals. So if you are making a mistake in that chapter, I am Ankit, I've decided that I will not study integration. Whatever questions come from that part, it's okay, I'm going to focus on other questions. If that is my understanding, let's say I'm somebody, if I have to choose, I'll choose statistics, I'll not study that part. If a difficult question comes from that chapter, I'll leave it. Okay, so I've left out integrals, let's say. Okay, I've left out, let's say, binomial theorem. Okay, and a question that I have made a mistake in this FLT1 is from that category. It means no problem. It means no problem. Because this is something that I've left. So even if the question has been missed from there, that's not my concern. It's okay. I'm going to accept that part because I have left the question on the purpose. Okay, so no problem on that category. Okay, this is very, very clear. Not a problem at all. Now, if apart from that, if you have, let's say, I wanted to solve a question in differentiation, but some concept I was not able to apply and got that mistake, then I will have to do what? This is part 1 of this conceptual mistakes. Part 2 will be quick revision. quick revision. Okay, quick targeted revision means, let's say I missed particular topic, so I'll go back and quickly read that topic. So quick targeted revision, quick and targeted revision. I'll not study everything, only that particular topic that I missed, that I made the question mistake, I'm going to do that. That's the way to deal your conceptual mistakes. Now forgotten formula, of course, what are you going to do for this part here? This is the very simple, right? Forgotten formula means go back and learn the formulas again and again. Okay? So memorize the formulas. That's how you deal with it. Memorize formulas. 10 times do it. Minimum of this. Formulas is a must. Must means very, very important. Okay? You cannot miss on the formula. 60 minutes, 60 problems have to be solved. If you're taking all the time to recall the formulas only, then of course, how will you get it right in the examination? So the formulas should be there on your tip. Okay? Finger tap. Silly mistakes. In this part, this comes very, very handy. Error book. So whatever questions you mistakes, the silly mistakes you've made, do one thing. Keep pictures of that, take pictures of that, and put those questions in the error book. Okay? It can be a PDF file, it can be anything, right? It can be a Word file. So pick those questions and put it over there. You don't have to write everything. Okay? And when you're going for the next mock, okay, keep the silly mistakes questions. Let's say you must have made almost 10 questions silly mistakes. Put all of these in the error book, and before mock 2, before writing the mock test number 2, okay, revise these 10 questions again. Go through these questions. Review them again. Review again before going for the next mock. You will see the trend, of course, if FLT1 I scored 30 out of 60, I'll pakka score more than 30 out of 60. Pakka. Again, if there's a mistake, repeat this whole process. If this is after FLT1, you have to do what here? You have to repeat everything. Writing 4 mocks, repeat for the entire 4 mocks. 1 mock means the entire process. I hope this is clear. I hope this is very, very clear. Very, very important. This is the strategy part. So far I've dealt with strategy part, syllabus part, okay? And of course, how to maximize the output of any mock test that you're writing, okay? How to make sure that you're completely going to resonate in the examination that you're gonna write, okay? Next part will be the most important one that you're here. What is that, sir? The tricks, okay? Before that, there are some resources available on our platform. What is that? If you want to have a targeted revision after the any mocks, you can go ahead and check out our master stroke. There are videos available for free, don't worry. You can go ahead and check that particular concept, particular chapter available over here. I've done COMEDK previous year paper as well for 2024. Go ahead and check that out. I have done, again, Launchpad series where I have dealt with the PYQs, okay, for the last 10 years in all the chapters. Go ahead and check that out as well, okay? So go ahead and learn this if it is important to you. Make sure that you watch only that video. Don't watch the entire thing. You don't have time to do that, okay? Next, the tricks. That's why you're here, right? How to maximize my output, sir, using the tricks. Again, dear, the tricks will not be applicable all of the times. But yes, don't worry. If you know the formulas, if you know the concepts, tricks will be, useful to you after all of that, okay? As I said, first you have to know all the concepts, all the revision. Next comes the trick. Let's see what we have. Chaliye. So what we have over here is very, very simple. First thing, I've taken almost, I think, 15 plus tricks I've taken. So checking one function. Yes, this question is very, very important. Can be asked for 1 mark, of course, in the bijective function as well. Okay. So we have 2 approaches for this, graphical method and using derivative. So if you draw the graph of the function and you get only 1 intersection, it means it will be what, dear? It will be 1 function. If you have only 1 intersection, so it will be 1 function. Okay. Using derivative, if you have f dash of x as more than 0, or if you have f dash of x as less than 0. Okay? Please understand this. Not together. Either it is more than 0 or less than 0. And any of the cases are there. What are you going to do? Simply take that function to be increasing in nature, right? Or decreasing in nature, it will become simply 1. If there is only one trend, if the function is only increasing in nature, please check here. Only increasing in nature, it means 1. Only decreasing means again 1. You should have only one nature. You should not have both. You should have or. Either this or that. Okay? Chal. This or that. This is the first trick that we have. Alright, so. Trick. This is the graphical approach, other is the derivative approach, okay? Next is checking the onto function. What are you going to do in this? In the function, put x as infinity, okay? Try to take the function x to infinity, the value of x to infinity. See if fx goes to infinity, it means onto. Same goes in negative side as well. If you take x as x tends to infinity, negative infinity, your function should also move to negative infinity. Please check over here. If you're taking here x to infinity, x square will make it again infinity, so infinity only, no, for y. But if you take x as negative infinity, x square will make positive, right, sir? If you take x as negative infinity, yes, x square will make positive infinity, no problem. But if you take x as, x as positive infinity, x square will make positive infinity. But if you take x as negative infinity, x square will make positive infinity, which means second statement is not true. X is taken as negative infinity, y is going to positive infinity. Means this is not true, hence the function is not onto. Simplest way to figure out both the one onto functions. Next, what we have, checking for differentiable function. What are you going to do in this? Look for the break in the function. If it has break, non-differentiable, okay? If it has sharp corners, sharp edges, like this function, modulus of x, sharp corner means non-differentiable at that particular point, x equal to 0, okay? Now, quotient rule is there. How to find, this is a tricky one because quotient rule might take a lot of time if you are dealing with this in the examination. So that's why there's a trick for this. What is it? If the function is given like this, 3 log x plus 8 minus 7 log x plus 9, I'm looking for derivative of that. I'm looking for y dash of that. What are you going to do? I'm going to write here, simply take the coefficients. So we have 7, 8 minus 7, 9. Find determinant of that, and keep the function's derivative over here, log x derivative. Dash means derivative, and simply denominators the whole square. I'll repeat myself. The coefficients that we have, the constant determinant times of derivative of the function log x over here, which is given the case, it can be any function, okay? But it has to be same function. Whatever function is over here, same should come over here, okay? So same function, derivative on this side multiplied with the determinant, divided by what? Square of the denominator. याद करेंगे आप लोग. Please remember this. Have this notes with you and revise all of this. Highly, highly important. Next set of tricks that we have. This question you must have seen multiple times. It's a PYQ as well. If you are having a question like this, y equal to root of fx plus like this till infinity, simply derivative will become what, dear? F dash of x upon 2y minus 1. F dash of x upon 2y minus 1. Okay. Now if you have a question like this, y equal to g1 into g2 into g3, g1, g2, g3 are all functions of x only. If I'm looking for y dash, answer will be y times of g1 dash by g1, g2 dash by g2, g3 dash by g3, and so on till gn dash by gn. We use what here over here? We use the property of, remember, we use the property of logarithmics to get this result. Correct now? Okay. Seventh one. If you have a question like this, y equal to sin x plus p cos x, 2 sin x plus 3 cos x. Basically, a sin x, b cos x like this is given. And they're asking what? Increasing, decreasing nature. They're asking what? Increasing, decreasing nature. What are you going to do? Let's say in this case, they have given this function is increasing function. In this question, I've taken an example directly, okay? So in this case, the function given to you, y sin x plus p cos x divided by 2 sin x plus 3 cos x is given as increasing function. What is the case? Simply take the determinant of the coefficient. So we have 1 here, we have 1 here, we have p here, 1p, 2, 3. Take determinant of that, 1p, 2, 3, and put it equal to 0, greater than 0. Why greater than 0, sir? Because increasing function. And get the value of p, you'll get what, dear? 3 minus 2p. You'll have 3 minus 2p more than 0. From here you get 2p is less than 3, it means p is less than 3 by 2. Solve it. So basically they can ask you to find the nature of it, basically check whether it is increasing or decreasing, or they can give you increasing, decreasing and ask you a missing variables value. I'll repeat myself. They can ask you to find the nature of this kind of function. So to check increasing, decreasing function, okay, you have to find derivative, you have to find this coefficient actually. Remember, 1p, 2, 3, if it is more than 0, it will become increasing, less than 0. If it is, let's say, for the decreasing function, this determinant that you're getting over here, no? Let's say I have a determinant value as a, b, c, d should be less than 0. Determinant should be a, b, c, d should be less than 0. The coefficient here, a, b, c, d. Easy, na? Okay. So next is trick number 8. Y equal to a sin x, b cos x is there. I'm looking for maximum and minimum value of y. Simply the root of coefficient of a and sin x and cos x, so which is a and b. Square of a plus square of b. Positive sign in the root will become what, dear? Y max. If you have minus of that root will become what, dear? Simply y minimum. Again, ninth one, yes sir, it's not a trick, but it's a very, very important formula that you have already learnt. E power x times of fx plus f dash fx, okay, is given by simply e power x fx. You all know this, I know that you all know this. And of course, one more, if you have integration of x f dash of x, see over here. Please see over here, you have x times of f dash of x. What do you have? X times of f dash of x you have. okay, and fx is separate. Please see over here, x f dash of x plus fx dx will be given as f fx plus c. X fx plus c. Again, an important formula, remember this. It'll be useful to you in the examination. Next, what we have, sir? Trick number 11, 12, 13, and 14. Let's see over here. 11th, what is there, sir? If you have an integration like this, sin x by something, or function is given in such a way that if you write this as simply the function, the integration I, and use the limit, what we are using, sir? Replace x by sum of the limit, pi by 2 plus 0, pi by 2 plus 0 minus x. So basically, I'm asking you to do what? Sum of the limit minus x. So a plus b minus x, if you do it, replace x by that, and if you get similar kind of condition, means basically when the numerator and denominator will cancel, the answer will be simply what here? Upper limit minus lower limit by 2. Upper limit is pi by 2 minus lower limit, which is 0 by 2. I know that all of you know this question because I've taught you this at multiple occasions. Okay, answer will be coming out as pi by 2 minus 0 by 2. Very, very important this. Okay, again you have another one which is odd even function. Figure out odd function, figure out even function. Question will become, for odd will be 0, for even will be twice of the integration. Okay, chaliye. Twice of the integration under the half of the limits. Twice of integration under the half of the limits. Okay, I hope you know that. 12, 0 to pi, if you have sin ax cos bx, and integration is that. If you have difference of a and b, difference of a and b is even, it will be 0, sir. If you have a and b, check here. A is over here and b is over here. Difference of a and b is even, means integration is 0. If you have what? Difference of a and b is odd, means integration will be 2a upon a square minus b square. Okay. Acha, can I write one more thing over here? Yeah, just one thing. Very, very important. I forgot to mention. Not a problem. I'll write it over here. If you have this, please remember, integration of sin x dx from 0 to 2 pi. You'll have answered here as 4. Please check. Integration of sin x dx, no, from 0 to 2 pi will be 4. 0 to 2 will be, 0 to pi will be, sir, 2. It's useful in the questions. Okay, so please remember this. It's another trick. Okay, remember this. 0 to 2 pi simply is 4 for sin x. Same goes with cos x also. And 0 to pi will become 2. Please remember this. And 13th one, if you're looking for adjoint of a 2 cross 2 matrix, let's say they're asking us to find inverse, right? Matrix is given as A, B, C, D. A, this is the matrix over here. Matrix A, B, of course, C, D is given to you. I'm looking to find inverse. What's the formula of inverse? Adjoint of A by determinant of A. Okay. How you find determinant? AD minus BC. It should be, of course, non-zero. It should be, of course, non-zero. Once you get that part right, okay. And please check, adjoint of A will be given by simply interchanging this diagonal element. D will come over here, A will come over here. So change this. A comes here, D goes up, and across BC what will happen here? Simply sign change. It will become minus C and minus P. This is your adjoint. Divide adjoint by this, you'll get the result. In the case of 2 cross 2 matrix to find inverse. Okay. Again, in the determinant properties which is given to you, all of it, adjoint, inverse, skew symmetric, all of it is very, very important. Please revise them. Highly important for your questions. Okay. 14th one, this is a very important trick, sir. Because this question will come in the examination for sure. Question on partial fractions. Okay. Whenever you have this form 2x minus 1 upon x minus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3 like this, you have been given this kind of form. Okay. And they're asking you to integrate this. They're asking you to integrate this. So what you're going to do, sir? First of all, look at the denominator that you have and find the zeros. Means where these factors will make it 0. Please check here. You get x as 1, x as minus 2, x as minus 3. X as 1, x as minus 2, and x as minus 3. Put those values one by one in the entire thing. So we get here x as 1 will become 2 into 1 minus 1, 2 into 1 minus 1. And since this will become 1 minus 1, right, which is going to be making it as 0. If you put here dear x as 1, it will become 1 minus 1, which is 0. Then please don't write it. Write that part in the log. I'll repeat myself. Whichever is the 0 from coming, whichever factor makes that 0, put that in the log. Okay. If let's say I had here 2x, if I had ln 2x minus 1, I have to divide this by 2. Sorry dear. Divide by 2. This you already know, right? If you have 2x over here, let's say you have ln ax plus b. You have to divide by a, right dear? To divide by a, no? In this case, we don't have anything. We have simply this as 2 and this is, simply this is 1, right? X coefficient is 1 dear. So you don't have to worry about that. Hai na bacha? Okay. But whenever you have some coefficient of x, right? Please mention that as well. Divide that by the coefficient. Okay. If you have a over here, divide by a. Okay. So Everywhere else, you're going to keep the x as 1. So 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. And you have 2 minus 2 into 1 minus 1. Whatever is making that 0, keep this in the log. Same goes over here. If you're putting minus 2, everywhere x has minus 2. This is making minus 2. This is making 0, right? Put it in the log, ln of x plus 2. Same comes with the plus sign again. Put x as minus 3 everywhere for x. And this x plus 3 will become 0, right? So put that in the log. Put that in the log of x plus 3. Okay, of course c will come because of the integration of indefinite kind. If you simplify this, you get the result of 1 by 12 ln x minus 1, 5 by 3 ln x plus 2, 7 by 4 ln x plus 3 and plus c. Solve it, simplify and you get the result. Download the notes, okay, get the notes available to you, and of course please review these tricks. How can you do that? You have to join the WhatsApp channel to get this notes access. If you've joined, then it's no problem. If you've already joined, no problem. If not, join right away and get the notes for free. Don't worry, no charges, okay? We won't get any data, nothing is there. You can just join it and get your results, okay? Just to give all the notes available to all of our students, we have this channel. I hope you already know that, okay? So this is clear. Next one that we have. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one, dear. Now, by parts application in the tricks, we have, if a function like this, sine 2x x square, 2, 1 dx, okay? What are you going to do? Simply write function 1 is x square, so right here function 1. Function 2 here sine 2x, right here sine 2x. Differentiate the first function till it goes to 0. Integrate the second function till it goes to, basically keep increasing until unless it becomes 0, okay? Differentiate x square, you get 2x, 2, 0. 2x, 2, 0. Sine 2x integration becomes dear minus 1 by 2 cos 2x, minus 1 by 4 sine 2x, and plus 1 by 8 cos 2x. No need to teach you this. You know all this integration of sine 2x, yes? And do one thing. From here x square, multiply this with a plus sign. So make this arrow, okay? From here to the next term. From here to the next term like this. Please check. Leave the first term out, dear. Leave the first term out, then keep making this combination possible, okay? And put a sign in the alternative fashion. Plus, minus like this. Club this together. X square minus 1 by 2 cos 2x. First term. X square by 2 cos 2x. Next is 2x into this. So minus 2x by 4. Excuse me. Yeah, there's a minus sign. No? So minus of this minus sign. There's a 2 minus sign. Please check here. There's a minus over here. There's a minus over here. So minus into minus becomes plus. So we have plus 2x by 4 sine 2x. Plus 2x by 4 sine 2x. Next is what here? 2 into plus. So 2 by 8 cos 2x. 2 by 8 cos 2x. And last is, of course, plus c. Very important. I've given another example for all of you. You can attempt it like this. X power 4 e power x dx is there. Integration. You have to find it out. So you're going to take this as function 1 as x power 4. Function 2 as e power x. Differentiate this. Integrate this. Make the same form. You get the result like this. X power 4 e power x minus 4x cube e power x. 12x square e power x and minus 24x e power x. Please check. Same thing, no? X power 4 becomes 4x cube. 12x square again, it becomes 24x, then last is 24. Derivative of x power 4, sign is alternative, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. Got it? Simple trick, okay? Now, this one is not a trick much, but yeah, one of the method to find the adjoint of a 3 cross 3 matrix is what, dear? So let's say a matrix given to you, a matrix A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. Last one is there, adjoint of a 3 cross 3 matrix. Okay? How do you find this? This I've given you to practice, okay? You have to solve it from your side and check it. I've given you answer also. This is here your answer, okay? This is the answer given for this particular question. Okay? Now, the last trick that you have on the adjoint of 3 cross 3 matrix. Matrix is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. I've taken a simple one, sorry. Okay? You can take a difficult also, not a problem. So, write the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? First, you can write the same thing over here. Please check. Then repeat the first 2 rows. So, this row is over here, no? Repeat this first 2 rows. Please check 1, 2, 3 and 4, 2, 1. Repeat that. Again, what are you going to do next? Repeat this column as well. First 2 column over here. Excuse me. Till here. Till here. Okay. Repeat this column. 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Next, what is that step here? Simply, you're going to do what? After repeating this, I'll erase this just to, make things easier. Looking for all of you. 1 second. Yeah. All right. I hope you got it right, how we wrote this 5 cross 5 matrix. Next step will be, after this writing 5 cross 5, remove this out and this out. First row and first column you remove and start multiplying. 2 into 1, 1 into 1. 2 into 1, 1 into. Subtract it. I get 2 minus 1. How much is that? 1. 1. Okay, next I'm going to do this again in the vertical order. 1 into 3 is 3 minus 2. One more time 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 into 1 is 2 minus 6. I get minus 4. So basically you're going to do what here? You're going to take in vertical columns over here. Okay. And write in the horizontal rows. Okay. In that you're going to do the multiplication to find the determinant in the vertical columns and get the result in basically your horizontal rows over here. Right, for all the 9 terms, you'll get the simple result of adjoint of A. Easy, na? I've taught you this. This is not a new thing. I've taught you this whenever I was teaching you this particular concept. Okay, I remember teaching. Now, with this, what happens is our session is over. Yes, so I've discussed the tricks. I've discussed your important chapters, how to analyze them, how to work on them, especially how to work on mocks. Okay, so let me know if I missed something. Whatever I can do to help, of course, I'll be here to help you out. Just keep working hard, keep smiling, and wish you all the best for examination. Of course, I'll be here. More things are coming your way, even in the last minute that is there with us. Okay, so just I wish you all the best. I wish you all the nice, all the blessings to all of you. And I hope all of you do a really good, you have a very good attempt in this Comet Key examinations, especially for mathematics. Okay, just see you again. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.